Oh boy. Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I'm very excited that you decided to join me here today for a little bit of a discussion video. All right, so we all know that we got the game pack announcement yesterday at Gamescom Live. And the new game pack is, as you are probably well aware, called the Journey to Batuu, and it is a crossover between the Star Wars franchise and the Sims franchise. Essentially what we are getting is a complete Star Wars world, and this is going to be a vacation destination that your Sims can travel to and be immersed in the Star Wars universe. I am not very excited for this pack. I have thought a lot about this, which is why I kind of wanted to hold off posting this video and discussing this topic with you guys so openly. We are going to kick things off here and note right up front that the attacks on the gurus are straight up not okay. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Now, the reasons why I'm not particularly excited about this pack are my own, and you guys are more than welcome to have your own opinions, and I hope that you will actually post them in the comments down below so we can talk about this in particular. I am a Star Wars fan. I am also a Sims fan. So why do I not want them to be one product? So most of my feelings about this pack are really stemming from the fact that there are things that the community has been asking for probably a couple of years now, maybe even since the game was released, that have yet to be introduced into the game. Now, this is not me saying that every single thing that the community wants should be put in the game. One, I don't think that's realistic, and two, that would really make for a hodgepodge game. Granted, the game is honestly very hodgepodgey. However, there are things that we had in previous iterations of The Sims that were completely omitted from The Sims 4. A great example of that was toddlers. Toddlers did not enter the game until, 2015, 2016? And that was because the community was completely outraged that they weren't in the game to begin with. We had the toddler life stage in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, and then they were like, you know what? Sims 4 is bigger and better.
But screw the toddlers.
There have been a lot of things that the community has been asking for since this game came out in 2014. If you guys did not know, we are coming up on 6 years of The Sims 4. Things such as more and improved skin tones, as well as babies not being objects.
Babies as objects are not fun. Hence why I think they changed them from the very first Sims game in The Sims 2. Because you could carry around your babies in The Sims 2, and you could carry around your babies in The Sims 3, and then they just made them objects, and I don't understand. They didn't even give us toddlers when The Sims 4 launched, and that was in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3 as well. It just doesn't make any sense.
Cars, more immersive family gameplay, and hobbies, things that we had in the previous iterations of The Sims, are not present in The Sims 4 currently. I don't get why we're getting a Star Wars game pack when we actually had a community vote maybe a year ago or something like that. It literally scored the lowest on that survey. Of all the themes that were proposed, Star Wars was literally at the bottom. Things above that were cars and farming. I think there was hotels, as well as more worlds, diversified worlds, because we have a lot that kind of represents the US and some of our vacation destinations, but that's it. We don't have a lot of representation in The Sims in general. So these things being the top 5 things that the community wants, and yet we get the last voted theme of Star Wars. And it wasn't even a Star Wars themed pack. This is quite literally a Star Wars game pack. You are going to the world of Batuu. You are seeing the characters and the different species and everything that are in the Star Wars movies, and you are quite literally meeting characters from the franchise within The Sims. All of that being put out there, I am not excited for this pack. This quite literally puts us down a storyline, if you will. It literally puts us down a particular storyline, and granted, it seems as though there's going to be some decision making on our end. So depending on how we have our Sims interact with this world, maybe who they interact with and what they do is going to impact what happens. And we had something like this obviously in Strangerville, where you were actually playing an objective. Whatever you did in Strangerville impacted your progress towards this ultimate goal of discovering the secret of Strangerville, which to me, I actually really did enjoy it. It's not kind of my style of gameplay, and I think that was the first time we've had anything like that in The Sims, and it worked, I think. Strangerville was attached to some like legacy lore, if you will, from The Sims 2, because we had Strangetown, and they tried to kind of introduce, I suppose, a similar path, a similar lore, a similar setting, and a similar story in a lot of ways. And they even gave us the Smith family from The Sims 2, as well as the Grunt family, for the, I think it was what, the 19th anniversary, because
We all know we got that freaking hot tub for the 20th anniversary.
but yeah, we got those families from The Sims 2, which really kind of tied it all together that this was somewhat of a recreation of Strangetown. And granted, it is not at all identical. It had to be new, it had to be different, and it had to be expanded upon. And I think they did a really good job with that. But the reason why I loved Strangerville was because it was attached to that legacy lore. And now we have to bring in another franchise that has had decades upon decades of lore and expansion, and we're just gonna toss it into The Sims 4. Honestly, even though I love Star Wars, like if I wanted to play something Star Wars related, I would get a Star Wars game. But that's just me. That's not how everyone feels. Like if you're one of those people that is really, really excited for this crossover, I am very happy that you're getting a pack that you're excited about. Like that is very important as well. I probably should have prefaced with that. I understand that the Star Wars franchise is kind of, in a sense, reinventing itself, right? They're reinventing a lot of characters. There are so many storylines that you could go down with Star Wars. It's endless. It's completely endless, and it's an incredible universe that has been created and something that people have been able to share like with their kids. You know what I mean? It has a very strong footing in pop culture. However, The Sims also has a strong footing too. So I'm a little bit torn because The Sims also has to try to attract new players. So I think it's kind of wise to tap into another fan base like that by doing a crossover. Whether or not it is my cup of tea or yours, it's going to be a cool pack. We are all entitled to our own opinions and perspectives, and I think what is so wonderful about this community is that we are able to discuss them openly. However, if we cannot do that respectfully and somewhat professionally, then that's a problem. If I were to buy this pack, I would be able to give you guys a greater perspective on like what my actual thoughts were in regards to the gameplay and the build and buy objects and everything. However, I'm really not sure I'm going to be buying this. And this is really just like a personal choice for me. I do feel compelled to have all of the new packs in The Sims because I create Sims content. And I think it's important to really dive deep into these packs and highlight the things that I do like and actually constructively criticize the things that I don't like. I've never had the impulse to like create my own character and inject them into the Star Wars universe, which is why I'm not excited about this. If it was Star Wars like influenced, if we got a completely like new world that the Sims team imagined with the actual like Star Wars team or whatever the case may be, and they created it specifically around even Sims lore, mixed with a little bit of Star Wars lore, I actually might be okay with it. But it's the fact that they're taking an existing world, something that has been around, a franchise that has been around for so freaking long, and then they're just saying, do you want to put your Sims there? Would you like to play there? Even though, for example, I was really excited for Realm of Magic. And I was excited for Realm of Magic because I love Harry Potter. But I loved how Realm of Magic stood on its own. It wasn't a Harry Potter pack. It wasn't a collaboration with, Harry Potter, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It literally was its own thing. They created their own literal realm of magic, their own style, their own everything, and I really like it. So when they introduce a pack such as the Star Wars pack, this is what this is. The Journey to Batuu is a Star Wars pack, literally injecting characters from the movies into your Sims game. When this happens, I am completely and totally turned off by it. And I'm not ignorant to the fact that like big game developers like this, like they have timelines. They have projects planned out years and years in advance, and dismantling that timeline could be not only very detrimental, but it could be extraordinarily challenging. You could lose a ton of money. And we have to be honest here, like EA, it's a business. Like you have to consider money when you're actually planning these things. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I think the community has been very vocal about a lot of core components to this game that they feel have been missing. Babies are objects. We need more skin tones. People cannot represent themselves in this game, and that is a problem for a life simulator. We don't have cars. We really like recently got any form of like vehicle by getting a bicycle. Like that's what we got, and that was in Discover University, which came out like what, 5 years after this game launched in 2014. And I just really don't know why. So it's more so me posing a question as to like why we aren't getting those things. This game is so many things to so many different people. There are people that literally want to live out being a vampire in this game. There are people that want to live out being a mermaid in this game. And there are people that want to marry celebrities and have like a lot of babies. And then there are those that just want family gameplay. There are those that want to make very dramatic storylines. I mean, there's so many avenues you could take. So I guess at the end of the day, sure, why not have an extension to a universe that is so widely loved and known and all this cool stuff, but it just seems really disconnected considering the amount of times that the community has been asked for what they would like to see in future packs, and then we get this when it was literally the last thing that was voted for. Like it was the bottom of the list. And the other things have been things that people have been asking for almost 6 years now. And it just is kind of mind-blowing, to be honest. Granted, we do have community voted stuff packs, which are so cool. I don't think we even got those in The Sims 3. I think The Sims 4 was the first time that those were introduced. And we've gotten some cool stuff that the community has collectively voted for, which is amazing. I really don't know other games, or at least I don't play other games where the actual development team does that. That's really freaking cool. Yes, this video was a little ranty, but I honestly just had to get it out almost all in one breath because otherwise I was going to forget a bunch of stuff. But I am personally not very excited for this pack. I am curious to see what the build and buy looks like, and I'm curious to know kind of what the objective and storyline aspect of this pack is. I have not quite yet decided as to whether or not I'm going to buy it. I think yesterday when I was chatting about this with my fiance, I was vehemently denying that I would ever buy this pack. I was honestly pretty upset yesterday watching Gamescom live and seeing that trailer. I was beside myself that the leak was actually true. And I was like, no, I'm not going to buy this pack. I'm not going to do it. I may be a builder, but I don't even want to build with these things. Like, I don't want to. And seeing some of the people in this community create the world of Batuu and things that are like Star Wars related with the objects we already have is insane. Like, the creativity knows no bounds. So for those who kind of, you know, maybe aren't that creative or really can't envision something like that with the objects we have, this pack is going to be really, really nice because you're going to have all of these very familiar things and you're going to be able to create things in a world that you might love that you've never seen before. So I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about it. I think it's really cool for those who are excited about it, but I am personally not happy about it. And I really wish that some of the key components to this game that the community has been asking for a long time would be implemented. So those are my thoughts on the newly announced game pack for The Sims 4 titled Journey to Batuu, which is coming out September 8th. Definitely drop some comments down below. Let's talk about what you think about this pack, and I will catch you guys next time I post a video. And I'll talk to you soon.